Why am I always so unprepared for these things? Oh, shit.
No, it's fine. But I mean, nobody is prepared. We don't even know when we're going to start half the time. It's fine. What episode is this? Episode 80. Welcome
80.
to Cask Strength. Episode 80. Whatever. We're just drinking to ignore everything today, I think. That's the plan. We're just drinking to avoid reality. That's healthy, right? That's a healthy coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and recommend it even. Specifically some whiskeys that maybe take us to another place, and I've got a couple lined up that are real doozies for me. And again, maybe we'll find out by the end of the show. Do I mean literally or do I mean figuratively? Am I going to drink some whiskeys and I'm going to wake up in another location? Or am I just going to close my eyes and, be mentally in another place?
The screen behind you is just a backdrop. You're actually at cult headquarters.
That's right.
It's happening again. Damn it!
It's happened before. It'll happen again.
Oh man!
Oh, I need whiskey. Oh, let's see.
I saw that.
Hey, that just became legal in a whole bunch of places. So
yeah,
I'm going to start with some hedonism.
Ooh. Oh, that's fair. That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a nice, wonderful dram.
Man,
one of the first things I shared in person with the Cult of Ardbeg.
Yes. It was quite good.
One of the first.
One of the first. The other being really, Canadian Mist.
Really high and low whiskeys.
Yeah.
In that batch there.
It was a roller coaster. And I actually believe some roller coaster got drank that night too.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It was worth the 8-hour drive.
So, quick hi to everyone. Shout out AJ, Donald. We got Zerps in the chat. Terry, Kilco, Run Rev, Peter. Who else am I missing here? I don't know. If I missed you, sorry. I'll get to you later. I'm starting the night off with some classic Talisker 10-year,
nice.
And this is the first time I had Talisker 10. I was actually at Cape Spear in Newfoundland. So it's the easternmost point in North America. It is on the ocean, getting splashed with ocean mist. And it's the first time I had this, and it definitely strongly reminds me so much that I can just relax and close my eyes, have a dram of this, and it takes me back to the East Coast. So for now, for the next, 10, 15, 20 minutes, I'm going to be in Newfoundland.
I'm in New Jersey, I guess. Awkwardly, it's not really helping me, but it's fine. It's fine.
I'm going to get me some quarter cask so I can't feel anymore.
Nice. That's fair.
Yeah. I'm going to take it away to the inky blackness.
Quarter cask is good stuff for sure.
Quick one, AJ. I'm going to raise this to your health, buddy. Hope you get a speedy recovery, pal. We're all sending the vibes, buddy. Sounds like you are on the mend. Not mended, but on the mend. So here's to a speedy recovery, pal.
Cheers to that.
Cheers for sure.
Oh God. You know what? We could probably fill 3 episodes of I Remember When getting whiskeys at the LCBO for a decent price. It was really weird. It seems to me, and again, I don't constantly cruise the websites. I don't even go into many LCBOs. I think I've been into like 2 since this whole thing started. But it seems to me that Compass Box is becoming less and less available around the LCBO that I've seen. And I know they've got the artist, like the King Street and the artist blend, those ones. but some of the, like Spice Tree Hedonism, I know they are still around, but it seems they were abundantly available in the past. And again, as Peter mentioned, at a decent price. Seems anytime a bottle is mentioned, and it's a remember when conversation. But yeah, Compass Box is something that I'm really thankful we do have at the LCBO, because, and I'm sure someone will correct me, but I really can't think of too many other independent bottlers that sell through that the LCBO sell.
There's not a ton. Yeah.
Not a ton. There's little gems, like there's that Kirkwall Bay HP, but I really can't think of too many outside of that. But fingers crossed for some more. At least they are. Hey Ed, thanks for popping in. Stovetop. Thanks for joining us.
Oh geez, it's more TikTok people.
Is it? That's good. Your TikTok people, you're bringing in the viewers, buddy.
Would worlds collide? What could you do?
Now I want to listen to Power Man 5000. Thanks, Brad.
Ooh. Nice. Nip on the backbone. I know Power Man. Okay.
I noticed that.
Some good jams. In fact, I love that song, but it's a total ripoff of So What You Want from the Beastie Boys. Yeah. So somebody that I wanted to reply to on there said something, and then I got carried away. The Power Man carried me away.
It's all about the carrying away this evening, isn't it?
That's right, Donald. I knew someone would correct me, and they are fairly available. So yeah, there's one, but not too many that I can think of. But again, can't complain. Happy to have what we do have. So Void, you have the ability to go to any place at any time. But if you were to have a whiskey, if you are having one right now to take you to another place, what would that be?
Oh, I'm having a quarter cask right now, so I can, completely obliterate myself and stay in the inky blackness and not think about anything.
It's a good call.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, Power Man.
10 minutes from now, yes, Power Man.
Yeah, quarter cask is definitely in my batch of whiskeys that can take me to another place, because I owe my love of peat to it.
It is good stuff.
Very early in my whiskey journey, that's where it takes me, and it's really nice to revisit and enjoy.
I mean, quite frankly, the reason I grabbed it is because it was the thing that was close.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Because I'm being lazy and don't want to move.
Just so you know, these are all going to get shown, folks, at home. Like, just letting everyone know. That's maybe a good episode coming up. Whiskeys best whiskeys to study with.
Yes,
best whiskeys to go to school with. The higher education whiskeys. But yeah, quarter cask, big one for me. I hope it never. It's constantly getting more expensive as every 6-month period goes up here in Canada. I think you guys have had the same price. How much is quarter cask around? Let me take.
Honestly, I have no idea, because this bottle got bought probably 2 years ago and only opened recently.
Okay.
So I don't know.
The good stuff. They made it differently 2 years ago. It was better.
Okay, cool. I'm on board with that.
Sheesh.
I mean, it is a Laphroaig.
It is. It's probably one of my favorite Laphroaigs.
It is good.
Yeah. Oh, Runrev was talking about the CS. That is good too.
Oh yeah, the 10-year cast strength Runrev.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about. Yeah, it is remarkable.
That's so good.
Cast strength Laphroaig is fantastic.
Yeah.
every cast strength Lafroig I've had has been stellar. Hits
Yeah.
all the marks for a peated dram for me. Just full bodied, nice and rich, and lots of. I get the Lafroig medicinal phenolic punch. I just love it. I'm super partial to it. I'm not going to go any further about talking about Lafroig on this particular channel, but just know that I do I do enjoy it.
Dan, have you ever had
yes.
Renaissance by chance?
I have,
Yes.
and I have some behind me right now.
So it may not be exactly cast strength, but it is definitely much higher proof 10.
Yeah, and super delicious.
Yeah,
like
with
it's
no nose.
Really good.
It actually is a very subtle nose. And I wrote that down in the one journal entry I have. I was like, is there even peat in here? Is this a joke? Is Brad tricking
Right.
here? Because it's Brad. He does like to have fun.
It definitely scared a room full of people opening up the bottle and not being able to smell much of anything from the bottle. Like, wait, what's happening?
You know, it was messed up.
But it turned out okay. It was great.
I cracked it, and I'm just like, take a whiff off the bottle. I'm like, did I just get like hosed? Oh no, I think I just got hosed. Poured it. Oh no, this is amazing. We're okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, it is quite misleading. Oogie 2 is probably darn near cast strength. Again, we don't know for sure, but I doubt that they watered it down to like that level at like it's like 57 point something, isn't it? Or
unlikely,
like
but
that, yeah,
right.
It's likely not actually cask strength, but like they're adding little tiny bits of water to get it to that specific level.
Yeah, they're probably
not really watering it down.
Yeah, the only goal there is quite literally because it probably tastes remarkable as it does when they have it at that level. But yeah, AJ, it is incredible. It's right up there with the best Lafroig I've ever had, including some of the older stuff. So if you do see one, pick it up. It's in the States. Again, I know it completely varies from state to state. You could literally have something that's unbelievably cheap and abundant in one state, and like one state over, it's a unicorn. So I have seen a lot of it as a shelfer item in a lot of different posts online in the States. So I do know it's in numbers down there. So hopefully you can score some because it is remarkable. Very, very fantastic example of what Lafroig does release. And on the same note, not non-existent.
Yeah.
So it's nice when we have friends that bring up samples, bring up bottles. Brad brings up like 50 to 65% of the not available in Canada stuff to our.
Been a while. A lot of it is sitting in New Jersey right now.
Yeah, well, it'll make its way eventually, right?
Yeah.
If you haven't had it, Run Rev, you're gonna love it. It's a remarkable. It's right there for me with quarter cask and something that you can always buy and never be disappointed. That is a fantastic bottle of whiskey right there. For something that they release constantly all year round, every year, and it's. Again, I'm not going to speak for us. For the most of the world, it's fairly reasonably priced. But even up here at its expensive price point is still worth it. Are we overpaying compared to retail? Sure. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like a tattoo or a meal, something that if you really enjoyed it and you're happy with it, don't really think about overpaying. Just be happy that you are happy. And move on. But Oogie is out of this world.
Agreed.
That's good news. That's some of the best news that I've heard in a while, pal. That is. We don't get things like that up here. Although recently somebody through the LCBO took advantage of a glitch that had wine for $0. Do you remember that, Brad?
Yeah.
This guy picked up like 2 or 3 or 4 cases of wine for free, and it was like $200 a bottle, this stuff or more, for free. And they actually went through with it. And
Craziness.
Yeah.
Yeah, what craziness that it was $200 a bottle because it's wine? Yeah.
Also that.
Hey, wine's pretty good, but
Also that.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but $200 a bottle? Come on.
That's why I used to be pretty into wine, but you open a $200 bottle of wine and you have to drink it that night.
Mm-hmm.
A $200 bottle of whiskey lasts me years.
Yep.
So it's a no-brainer. And as much as I do love wine, it's fantastic. It's just hard to justify that type of stuff. But yeah, see, that's crazy. But you know, such is life. Hey, Weddle, thanks for coming, buddy. Appreciate that.
Weddle.
We do.
And Mark from Still in Canada. Hey.
Yeah, hey, Mark. Cheers, buddy. Mark just released a vodka actually that I need to get big time. So far behind
Nice.
with making a trip up there.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to start collecting some of his stuff for me there, and
that I can.
I will give you money.
That I can,
because I can't just constantly make trips up there. That would be a bad idea.
Mitch, there is a online virtual Glenmorangie tasting that's happening up here in Canada. And if you are a part of that after the online tasting is done, you have an option for pre-sale for the Tale of Cake. Is it Taste of Cake or Tale of Cake? Maybe it's Taste. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Weddle.
I would trust Weddle.
Yeah, way more than me.
All I know is the cake is a lie.
And I have not tried it. No. Anybody at home watching tried the new Glenmorangie? It is Tale. Okay, so yeah,
I do want to play Portal now, but
right,
it's different.
The other half took a picture of one at a liquor store and sent it to me, and it was like, "Oh, that's cool." No, so we didn't get it.
Fair.
It is, yeah. That's kind of a I can't remember what the tag was on it, but it's something that I know the cult isn't necessarily springing high dollars for something non-peated like that.
I don't think the Colt's springing high dollars right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair.
I'm desperately in for bottle splits. Pardon me, right now with our group, because I'm in no way, shape, or form anywhere near buying a full bottle of anything. Okay. So that makes me quite interested to try that and maybe figure out a split with a few of us up here.
Yeah, I'm not usually super into like desserty whiskeys, but I would definitely like go on a little split just to give it a try.
So my thing right now is having, because again, most of my whiskey is peated. Most of my Scotch rather. And I love having some nice Islay and then waiting a little bit till my palate's, not necessarily fully cleansed, but a little more open. And then I'll get like a nice sweet sherry bomb, something non-peated, and it really accentuates that sweetness. And it's something I really like doing lately because, like I said, the contrast between the heavy peat and the sweet whiskeys it really accentuates it, and I really enjoy it. I am getting quite partial to sherry bombs right now, so yeah.
Well, I'm going in the opposite direction of that and going with some Floki sheep tongue smoke.
Nice.
Woo!
And we all know
I've transferred the dregs of the bottle into a smaller bottle because I was running out.
Can I guess to what place that takes you?
Sure.
The barn.
It does take me to a barn.
Yes. Yes.
Very, very yes. It is super barnyardy.
The barn.
If you've ever hung out in a wet barn, you know the smell of Floki.
Yeah, hung out in a wet barn while your friend smoked a cigar.
So, funny story about Floki. The first time I had it, I was in my house I'm in now, which is been in the family for some time, but there's a barn here, and my grandparents used to have horses in that barn, and I used to muck out the stalls and just do a bunch of work in there, be in the hay mow, tossing hay bales. I had a drink of that here for the first time, and it teleported me right back to throwing hay in that hay mow. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah, and that's why I really, really like that. Brad brought it down. Actually, we had it at Mark's Distillery. That's when I drank it, and it will always remind me of that. Speaking of that too, will always remind me of standing there with Mark and Vito and Brad and Lisa and enjoying that. But the if you like if you've experienced barn smell in a way that isn't negative, like you don't have to love barn smell. It doesn't necessarily have to remind you of being there so much as but like if you have spent time around in a barn and you know that, then it's definitely going to bring you right to that barn smell, and
Yep.
you can't help it. You know, it's so reminiscent of a barn. It's crazy.
It really is.
And the most unique whiskey I've had in a very long time. I can't really even think of it. Before I started drinking heavy peated, like my first heavy peated, first quarter cask, there was nothing that I've had that's been like, wow, that's way out there, so different than anything I've previously had.
It's really fun to give people Floki, have them taste it, and then tell them that it's smoked with sheep dung. Too.
Yeah, for sure. That's the protocol. For sure. Yeah. See, Run Rev, I like that. Hey, I really like that. Hey, again, it's just so unique, right? Even. And it's a total brain thing. Like as far as actual taste and flavor and palate goes, I didn't really spend that much time on it. Like it's kind of, I'm not going to say it's a one note pony, but it's very overwhelmingly barn and peat, like not peat smoke, but barn sheep dung smoke, if you will, but very so barny. That's all you pay attention to. And it's all that I was just thinking, oh, this is so unique. It's so unique. And it didn't taste bad. So I'm all about it. I would totally jump on a bottle of that to have around, because at first you can't help but think, oh, this is a gimmick. This is a complete gimmick. This is going to taste horrible. This is a stupid thing, but it's actually quite interesting.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like it. Not something I would want to drink every day because it is super weird. But
yeah, no.
It's potent. It's not something I wouldn't want more than a decent little.
If you're itching to tweak those memories of being in a barn, then just pour a little bit of that.
Yeah,
there's no escape. There's no escape from it.
Barn memories. Also,
or if you have really bad barn memories, maybe don't.
Yeah,
because they will come up too.
The quarter cask is a lot sweeter than I remember.
Okay,
in a good way.
It has some really nice kind of like vanilla caramelly notes in there under the peat. I freaking love it. It's a great, fantastic whiskey. You just really can't go wrong.
Agreed.
What I had, there was something back up here. Yes. Donald, do you want to do some work for us and throw a comment? I've never heard of it, so I have no idea what it is. I'd love to get a quick...
So green spot, yellow spot, red spot, blue spot.
Yep.
Is just older.
Yep.
Oh,
and I'm not sure what it's finished in, but it's like the next step.
Right. Okay. I know.
I'm sure that would be interesting to try anyway.
Yeah, and blue's my favorite color, so there you go. It's meant to be. Um,
Oh, there you go.
yeah,
Okay. I don't even know
that's-
what that is. I mean,
that's
wine
the
cask, but I
that's
don't
the
know.
that's the Glenmorangie.
Interesting. Okay.
The cake one. So I just wanted to throw that up there because that is a really interesting. That's the first I've certainly heard of a whiskey being finished in those particular casks.
Hungarian wine.
Yeah, but boy, am I all about wine casks the past good year or so. All about wine casks. I'm particularly heavy peated with wine. They work so well together. But again, I'm kind of growing really partial to a non-peated sweet wine, sweet sherry bomb. So
It's good for variety, especially in between peated things, reset the palate in a very interesting direction.
Yep. Yes. Once it gets in there, and it is, the brain is very powerful, and the olfactory system is the strongest and strongly linked to memory, and as I'm sure a lot of you know.
Now this sounds interesting.
Yeah. Greg, that's
Russian buckwheat.
is that peated or smoked at all?
I don't think either of the Russian whiskeys that I had was buckwheat, but I'm not sure. I've had 2 Russian whiskeys. One of them was labeled a bourbon, which was interesting.
Oh, that stuff. Oh, good lord.
Yeah. I don't know what it actually was because clearly it wasn't bourbon because it was
Diesel
from
fuel?
Russia.
Partially diesel fuel.
Possibly partially diesel fuel.
One day, I hope to have this problem too, Weddle, and I will experience what y'all.
That is the tricky part of the vault. Like, I could only have so much before I don't remember what I had. So what am I having this time?
And as unique as Floki is, there's just so many. You can't be blamed for not trying Floki in the vault. Yeah. Nobody would foul you for that. That's crazy. And totally understandable. I'd probably have an anxiety attack, like a panic overload, and not know.
Except for Sarah from Whiskey Crusaders, she needs to try Floki in the vault or otherwise. Needs to happen. Just because she refuses, so it needs.
Yeah, she's not too huge into peat.
No, she's not.
It's not peat.
Oh, it's not a. Oh, true. Yep. There you go. I'm not even going to say anything else.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not peat. It's fine.
So Blue Spot's aged in 7 years. Combo of ex bourbon, ex sherry, and ex Madeira. Cast strength at 59.2. Sounds
okay. All right.
Spectacular.
Okay. I'm into that.
Yeah, that sounds really tasty. And I haven't had a bad spot. Although there was one wine finish that wasn't. It was definitely my least favorite, but still a.
That weird green spot.
The chateau.
Yes.
Something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
I was into that one, but a lot of people didn't seem to like it very much.
I liked it. It just. I liked the. I think it was just the standard yellow spot that I had it. Not up against, but the day after, and I preferred the yellow spot. But like I said, I haven't had a bad spot, if you will.
For me, yellow spot's a bit too waxy. Like it gets to me. I don't really like it that much.
Fair.
Green spot I like. I enjoy green spot.
There you go. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yes. And again, good whiskey, just wasn't my particular favorite.
Fair.
This is the reason why Mark should be doing what he's doing, folks.
Yes.
Oh my God! See, that's so smart, and maybe I'd love to hear.
That would be super interesting. I'm actually very curious to try the new 2 brewers that was aged at least partially in maple syrup barrels too. But it wasn't recharred and then used again.
Recharred. Yeah, so you would get
super interesting.
You would get a lot of vanillins out of that char from the oak itself, and then so many different chemical sweetness from that caramelized syrup. That's
I'm on board for
I'm
that.
getting way too excited.
Do that, and I will buy
peated
some.
too. See, that would be very, very interesting. Very interesting. Ooh, I have a 31-year single cask Kalila that I've got up behind me there, and that if you keep returning to multiple times and it's in the vault, that saying a lot. That is saying a lot.
I think so far the only thing I've had multiple times in the vault is the Ardbeg 1850.
Yeah.
Everything else, I was like, no, I got to try different stuff that I can't have access to.
Sorry, I just had like massive flashbacks to that.
It's fair. Makes sense. That's gone now. It's a shame.
Oh, so sad.
There is
Canadian Mist.
no, but listen. It's easy to say that, but
yes, it is because
okay.
it's true.
It's actually one of my favorite whiskeys, and not tasting or smelling, but without it,
What, like
there was
fake
a lot of
winter?
shenanigans that I would have missed out on.
Right, but favorite whiskey that exists is different than favorite whiskey to drink, is what you're saying.
Like it is actually one of my favorites because of the shenanigans that it has caused and the
Okay.
entertainment that has gone because of it.
Real
But-
talk? Hay Club.
Hay Club is like
God.
drinking the cologne that you think it is when you're pouring it out of that bottle. Yeah.
It is god awful.
That's funny. That's awesome. You can go back or you can revisit the same whiskey and have a new experience every time.
I'm kind of with you most of the time. My memory is kind of Swiss cheese, and my tasting notes, I mean, everybody knows they're trash. So it's always a good time. That's one of the interesting things about this Floki is that it can transport me back to the barn every time.
Yeah, big time. So neat. Really, really cool. But Stovetop, to quickly answer that for me, I'm gonna just throw out Glenlivet Founders Reserve. Mainly because it's not the worst whiskey I've ever had in my life, but I felt like as a very experienced bourbon drinker and super new into Scotch, it's one that I picked, which, because I didn't want to dump a ton of money on something I didn't think I was going to like. So I grabbed this kind of cheaper bottle, this Glenlivet, a name I had heard before. Ooh, Founders Reserve. Sounds nice. Must be decent. Really bad. Really not good. It's not a great whiskey. That's my least favorite for a lot of reasons. It also turned me off of Space Ciders for like a 4-year period. I didn't even drink another Space Cider in that time because I'm like, Space Cider, I'm out. It's gross. But
I actually thought you were going to say a fortnight for a second.
Yeah, I'm very curious to get my hands on those the last two releases of Two Brewers. I should have some coming at some point soon.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm very curious about the maple syrup because I'm not usually into super sweet whiskeys, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. So I guess we'll see.
Were either of those peated, Graham? I know they do peated stuff, so I'm just asking if
I think the 21 was. I'm not sure. One of them was peated, I think. Not positive. Two Brewers is one of the distilleries now that I'll just, if I can get my hands on any of their releases, I just get them because they've all been good so far.
this is definitely on the top of so many people's list. But again,
White Walker's
the
rough.
entertainment that I have got personally because of the existence of this whiskey, I gotta say, you know what I mean? Like, there's a spot in my heart for White Walker, but it is really and stuff like when you have Johnny Walker, who it's certainly a blend and does make some fantastic products and has been around for a very long time. and they probably made a killing on selling those White Walkers. And I'm sure I don't need to explain to everybody here the whole marketing gimmick and everything that went behind that. But it was really, really super disappointing. Like, that's a really poor tasting whiskey, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Like,
Yes, it is.
Very rough.
In my opinion, it's a lesser whiskey than the standard red label, which I also just do not enjoy too much. So, you know, it's disappointing when larger, even smaller, just any distilleries that know how to put out a good product. And I understand you can't just release your fantastic stuff, and you have to have entry level and that whole jazz. And you're owned by a parent company who might have already made this deal, and you got to go through with it. But it's just disappointing. That's all. You know.
I mean, you got to do something with the less than good barrels, right?
There is that, I guess. You got to get use out of them.
Okay, interesting. So the end result is still the same, but the specific process, the heating of the wood behind the char that increases vanillins.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's good to know the specific process behind that. Thank you, sir. This is, we're used to this. A year isn't even that bad. For if we get something only a year after it came out, I'm happy with that.
That's not a terrible turnaround for the LCB. I am switching to some Talisker 57 North.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
So I need an island escape.
I needed to escape in multiple directions, so I went with a Crowded Barrel Alliance release. It was the Wyoming whiskey one.
Oh, nice. That's a tasty one.
Yeah,
I think I
quite
still
good.
have some of that one.
I just opened it. It's quite good.
Yeah, those guys at the Crowded Barrel, they do okay, I guess. Although it is very sad that Deb is released for now.
Peter, I don't know if it's available on YouTube, but I can direct you to an excellent sword and whiskey video if it is available on YouTube. Is that available on YouTube?
I believe it is.
Probably is.
I believe it is.
And I guarantee you,
If not, we could probably arrange that
from the UK. I'm so far behind on this chat.
Graham, I'm kind of with you on that. 57 North is fucking great.
Yeah, that's
it's one of those things like when people say that they don't like non-age statement whiskeys, like, here, have some of this and say that again.
Yeah, raise a quick glass to Mr. Fox and his co-conspirators.
Sure. I thought we weren't going to get political.
Just quickly to Mr. Fox.
Fine.
That's all.
It's fine.
Yeah, what's everybody's favorite non-age stated island? What's what you get what I'm trying to say here, right, guys?
Huh? What? Nope, that's age stated.
So I don't know. Technically speaking, the Talisker 1985 isn't age stated, is it? They tell you how old it is, like on the website and stuff, but I don't think it's on the bottle.
No, it's not on the bottle. I remember that. I think it's so.
If it is, it's definitely not prominent.
That's if that's not age stated, that is 100%.
I'm pretty sure I had to look up
by far.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had to look up how old it was, and they're not keeping it a secret. But
it's like 27.
Yeah, 27 years. Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good. And for me, and I know that there's so many variables, and you certainly can't just say, "Oh, it's just 2 years older than the 25," because it'll be different cask stored in a different area, all kinds of different variables. But the 85 is out of this world.
Agreed.
And like that much better than the 25, in my opinion. Like so much better. The 25 is really, really good. But that 1985 is
In all fairness, it's also quite a bit more expensive.
for sure. But my God,
Yeah,
it's a
so
very,
good.
very,
So
very
good.
good whiskey. That's the best. It's the best brine note that I've ever got because it's not like punchy brine, salty sea. It's just like the most delicate mist. It's not splashing in your mouth, brine. It's just sea misting gently over your tongue with that nice. God, what a fantastic dram. One of my favorites.
Me
In case
too.
you guys-
But I don't have very much left, so I'm savoring it.
Yeah, that's a good plan. The Bothy quarter cask is fantastic.
That is also true. Yes.
Really, really good stuff.
Very true.
And that is also non-age stated. That's up there for me. I really like that one. Aaron has really impressed me the past couple years.
They do good stuff. Yeah, it's very confusing to me when people just flatly say that they don't like non-age dated whiskeys.
Yeah, it is really,
People
and
are
it's still
bonkers.
more. Yeah, and even with the growth of our hobby and the expanding of the open-mindedness and all that, there's still so many people that turn their noses up at non-age stated. And the reality is there's a lot of non-age stated whiskey that has much more than 70% old whiskey in it. Quite a lot. You get some 20-year plus whiskey in a lot of non-age stated drams, and then you've got 40% of it at maybe like a 4 or 5 year, and obviously maybe some 3 year in there. But it's a bad way to live your life. You're missing out on so much.
Right? Like people will like what they're gonna like. Like they're gonna probably hate some of the non-age dated stuff, but just a blanket statement of like, I don't drink it because it's not age dated is like, all right, jeez.
Yeah, it's. Well, you know what? I'm gonna actually have a wee dram of.
What?
I'm gonna have some Black Art.
Nice.
I'm gonna have some Black Art 5.1, because it can always take me to another place, my happy place.
That's the 26, right? 5.1.
I didn't write it on my, but I do have the bottle right here. 24.
24. Okay. I can't keep them straight in my mind. It's
6. I think the 6 point, or was it the 7? They're weird because like the 4.1. Oh yeah, 4.1's 23.
Yeah.
24, 25, 26. Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Black Art 5.1. The last of this, that wee bottle there, that I showed on, I think, the last stream there. One of the best things that any distillery has ever done.
Though the small bottles of Black Art, yeah, those are great.
Well,
Yeah, Greg, this is a solid description of Talisker, a campfire that was put out by seawater.
Yeah, that's a fantastic and such a great taste, such a great profile. It's got just enough kind of funk in there to make it interesting, but it's got wonderful brine notes, wonderful peat notes. It's every Talisker I've had has been great. I have not had one. The only time I had Talisker and it wasn't super keen about it was the Dark Storm that Vito had that did not oxidize.
Oh yeah, it like turned,
and it still wasn't a bad whiskey. I'd still put it amongst other, but compared to when I had it when it was fresher, and then having it at a later date, it was like night and day.
Dark Storm, like when it's good, is really good. It was very disappointing to hear that it oxidized poorly for Vito. Mine never did. It took a while to drink that, and it was good the whole way through.
Irene, you've got a long way to go before that.
There's very little chance of
like
that.
you're good. Ooh, Peter, great point. The Abuna is a fantastic non-age stated.
Absolutely. Yeah.
However, not an island whiskey.
There is that.
But it is marvelous and a great sherry bomb at that as well.
You don't need to worry about being respectful here. I don't think. I think everyone knows that we're just a disaster. It's fine.
You'll have to pardon me if I'm not engaging as much because I'm kind of preoccupied and way behind on the chat. But yeah, just have fun. If you can't have fun when you're here, then there's no point even being here. So do you think if you cross a line, it'll be something so you'll probably be removed from the internet by like some crazy high power before we even think about that. So
YouTube itself will ban you before we care.
Yeah, we're here to have fun. It's a very relaxed atmosphere, as you guys all know. We do like our whiskey and stuff, but we're just here to have fun. Get your mind off of what's going on in the world right now. So
I think if there was a Talisker that I haven't enjoyed, the Sky comes maybe closest, just because I don't find it very interesting. But like, it wasn't bad.
I don't think I had that one.
For a Talisker, it's just like, eh.
Did you bring
I didn't bring any Sky for the
okay.
Talisker.
Yeah, I didn't think that you did. Everything you brought there
I've only had a taste of Sky. I haven't had a bottle. It wasn't I had like 7 or 8 bottles of other Taliskers at the time. It's like, I don't think I need a Sky.
Solid point, Emily. Solid point, because that's
it's fair. It's been a while since we've done an actual After Dark episode. That's true. We might have to do one soon. With the way the world is going, we might need some After Dark.
Graham Slancha, friend, thank you for coming out, and I hope you have a good shift, and a good evening and a good weekend. After Dark, we will have to get one going soon. I'm just so overloaded and so tired. By the time we're done here, I'll put Ed on, or we have a little chat, and like within 10 minutes, it's like wham.
It's fair.
Oh, good God.
The world is very tiring right now for a lot of people.
It is.
So that's understandable.
I just want to say that Black Art is probably, and don't go bananas on me here, people. Black Art is probably one of the most reasonably priced whiskeys for what it is that I've ever had. It is, I could nose this forever. It is such a fantastic bouquet.
I can see that. Especially if you're in a place where you can get like the 200 ml bottles, because that just is crazy value.
Unbelievable value. You don't have to drop, $400 on a bottle, but even at $400, which is far beyond that, which I can, afford to go pick up a bottle of on a whim, it's still worth it to me. It's one of those things that after you experience it, if somebody told me that this whiskey was $1,200, I wouldn't bat an eye. I'd be like, yep, I believe it. That sucks. I can't get any, but I believe it because it's out of this world.
It is damn good.
Oh, awesome. Please tell me where you're from. Where are you from, Stovetop?
I don't have an accent.
Yeah, I don't.
What are you talking about, Boyd? You got that super thick interdimensional void accent.
Oh, that's right. I put it through the Matrix Resolver so you guys don't hear it.
Your accent is technically an absolute mix of every single accent on the planet.
Y'all listen.
I mean, kind of makes sense.
Kind of true, actually.
Yes, not wrong.
Are you joking?
Oh, Massachusetts.
Right, you're chirping our accent.
He has a thicker Canadian accent than we have. Don't worry about it.
I have a great aunt that was born in Boston and lived in Boston her entire life, and
There is
Boston?
Boston. And we pulled up to my house at one point. She goes, "Oh my God, there's a deer in your yard," and I lost it. I could never talk to her the same way again. Dan down.
We've lost Dan.
With a mouthful of
Dan is
black art too. Oh, I'm sorry.
down. Oh no.
Don't point at me.
That's what you don't want is black art like going up your sinuses because you're
I mean, it
laughing.
might be a new way to enjoy black art.
It's true.
Hey, you know
do
what?
have some taste
Let-
receptors
well,
up there that
honestly-
wouldn't be familiar with black art.
Listen, so I plugged my nose because I wanted to kind of contain everything. And I had a couple of those noises that you heard, and it like aerated what's going on now because I'm getting like the hard, really floral berries, apples, like plum skin, baked plums.
Sure.
Oh,
I
it's
get a lot of like
good.
like raisin bread kind of deal from black art a lot of times.
Yeah.
So we have just witnessed the birth of the haze technique.
Sure. Sure. Just directly into the sinus cavity.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mitch, Brad, contact the other Psalms and let Daniel know that I've formed a new technique. I'd like it to be applied to the future classes.
Sure. I mean, it's got your least used taste receptors are up there, right? So it would be the freshest tasting notes you could.
It was. It really opened it up when I did finally get it down. It was
practically a direct connection
Did
to
you
your
just-
brain.
Did you just insinuate that they have like a psalm beacon?
Yes.
Okay, good, because they do.
I mean, there should be, right?
Right.
What do you
there.
think's
There
in
isn't,
inside
there
the?
should be.
What do you think's inside the medallion? It's a shortwave radio.
So I
Three
can't talk
rubs
about
on
it.
the medallion?
If I talk about that, I have to kill everyone that witnesses it. So I just can't deal with that. Right
Wow, that
Oh,
escalated
shit,
quickly.
Tash.
Okay, moving on.
now.
Here's Pat. Thanks for coming out. And yeah, you've now witnessed the Hayes method on a couple of different things to consume.
All right, before we end, I'm going to switch to this. You'll notice it doesn't have a label.
Because it's your infinity bottle?
It is
Yep.
Woo!
stored inside the original Hibiki 17 bottle that I got on my first visit to the vault.
I was going to say it looked like there was a little more of those sides on it. Oh, from your first visit to the vault.
Yes, it's literally the bottle that we emptied the first time I got to visit the vault.
Neat.
And now it stores, I don't know, I want to say like 40 different whiskeys, 50. I don't know. There's a stream of it that's like 4 hours long if you want to figure out what's in this bottle, because I have no idea.
Awesome. Yeah, it's also big enough and strong enough and heavy enough to double for like a rim for a heavy duty truck.
Sure.
Um,
Or if you turn too quickly, you could definitely knock somebody out.
oh yeah.
It's got some heft to it.
Oh yeah.
If you're not paying attention and you turn around a little too quick and it whips around, you're knocking things over.
Oh, this is so good. Black art is so good. Every black art, buy it and drink it and enjoy it and share it and black art it. It's so good.
This still tastes like s'mores. It's amazing.
Your fucking infinity bottle
Yeah.
tastes like s'mores?
Yes.
Dude.
That's why I haven't added to it. That's why it's so low.
Me
because
too,
I
me
don't
too.
wanna
So-
change- I don't want to change anything.
That one time when I had the infinity bottle and I brought it to Dave's and everyone guessed that it was a compass box, I was like, okay, yep, seal that up. Nope.
Never
I'm
changing
like, I'm
that.
not fucking changing this. I've got one small bottle of it up there with the reference date at the point of bottling that. And then unfortunately I did keep adding to the infinity bottle after that, but I did keep a good 2 ounces of that magical spot.
Good point. Good point. I might have a chance because I'm extremely self-deprecating, but even then, I don't know.
It's actually funny because the egos from every Psalm that I know is nil. Like you guys are extremely humble. Just in case anyone out there doesn't know this crew of people, these people are very, very humble and very, very friendly.
I still have yet to wear the medallion unironically. So that's
the only time you bring it is when we ask you, like, please bring the medallion. Will you bring the medallion? And we're like, ooh, like all going nuts about it, like that it's fucking heavy ass thing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's a pain to wear. It's so heavy, but it's fun.
Oh my God.
I did wear it in Vegas a little bit. It was super weird. Also, I was high basically the whole time I was in Vegas, so that might have something to do with it.
And also, it's Vegas. No one cared.
That's true. It was the least weird thing someone was wearing in Vegas.
It is.
It might be. Really, it's one medallion that
you know what?
Looping back through time.
That is the beauty of the ever-evolving Infinity bottle. So now you've got the challenge to maybe even put some effort in and try and engineer it to something that you like, or just go wacky and put your ends of bottles or whatever. Super fun thing. I think it's one of the coolest projects in the whiskey hobby.
This seems about right.
Yeah, no, checks out.
If the void says it checks out, then well, never has a more truer statement been made.
It's fair.
God, oh my God. See, this is when I get to that point of like that this much left, and I just want to keep it so I can keep nosing it. You know what I mean? Oh my God. It is literally so. I've said my hypothesis many times on the Black Art, and it's kind of obvious, and no one can still really know because of all the variables and things that can happen. You could think that a whiskey was, aged in this or for this long, and yada, yada, yada. The only thing we know is the age of the Black Arts. But I'm certain that this is the cream of the crop. I can taste like I can get like a white wine influence on it, and I can also get a strong red wine influence on it. And I think that it is just the cream of the crop of all of those gnarly wine casks that Bruichladdich has, an unbelievable amount from different vineyards across Europe. And this is just the cream of the crop, I think, from all those magnificent wine casks. I don't think there's, and again, I could be super, super wrong, but it's my opinion. Like there's probably no ex-bourbon at all if I had to guess, but God, it's magical.
Yeah, Black Art is great.
Talk for an hour.
And Run Rev is right. Ed is about to start his thing, so we don't want to step on any toes of the professional that Ed is.
Those are big toes.
So they are.
He is a tall man.
He is a tall
man. So yeah.
It's been good.
Thanks
for joining, everybody.
Yeah.
Cheers. See you next time for whatever this is.